Okie doke. I hope you are ready for our next speaker. Hello, Excel.
Hi, Walter.
How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you doing?
Very good, very good. Great to have you with us. Where are you from?
I'm from Singapore, but I'm not in Singapore at the moment.
Okay, where are you at right now?
I'm in the Philippines.
Oh, nice. I need to go there one time.
You should come to Asia and try a different weather.
Yes, for sure. How's the weather right now in Asia, or in the Philippines?
The weather is just so-so. It's not too sunny. It's not too rainy. It's just gray, like in Europe sometimes.
Yeah, it's right now here it's freezing. This morning
Oh, okay.
it was -2 this morning in the Netherlands. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to talk about well, smart and healthy buildings, and of course, Who is a healthy building solution. Great to have you with us. Do you have a presentation with you that you would like to share?
I do. Let me just share my screen.
Yes, clean air is fundamental human right.
Yeah, let me know if you'd like me to start.
Yes, you can start. I will give you the floor, and I will be back with you after your presentation to ask some questions. So, yeah, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Bear with me with the dog. It's just a temporary thing because there's someone at the door. So now it's gone.
Okay.
We believe that clean air is a fundamental human right. Poor indoor air is the world's largest environmental hazard. Not knowing what you breathe makes one sick, and poor indoor air quality is also one of the causes for various illnesses such as COVID-19 or viruses. Here are some interesting facts about air quality. Did you know that an average person spends at least 90% of their time indoors? Unfortunately, the indoor air is like 5 times worse than our outdoor air. So not knowing what you breathe makes you sick and the planet sick. And unfortunately, 500 million of the people in the world has asthma or upper respiratory issues globally. And 28% of the global carbon dioxide emissions come from building operations. So this is Mr. Tipton, Brandon's father, who's one of our customers at Yoo-Hoo. Mr. Tipton has been suffering from sore throats, dehydration, and other upper respiratory issues. But the problem is Brandon doesn't know what was causing it. So what Brandon did was he purchased a number of air purifiers in his dad's home, hoping that it will help make his dad feel better. Unfortunately, after 2 to 3 months, the problem persisted and his dad's condition was just getting worse. Then Brandon saw our product online, which is the Yoo-Hoo Smart Air Monitor. He purchased it for his father and placed it in his father's home. And in just 2 to 3 weeks, he managed to find a culprit that's causing his father's health issues. And the culprit it's their furnace. So this is a testimonial how Yoo-Hoo saved a life. So if it were not for Yoo-Hoo, Brandon's dad may have died. So this is his testimonial, a happy customer of Yoo-Hoo. So Yoo-Hoo managed to help Brandon's dad or Brandon find the problem, and Brandon managed to take the correct action to solve it. So at Yoo-Hoo, we are the most comprehensive environmental health platform and we manufacture these hardware devices on the left that you see. The one that's looking like a vase, it's our home model. The one that's squarish is our commercial grade model. So these hardware devices is what we use to monitor your indoor air quality. And then we provide you data, insights, and alerts through our in-house app and dashboard that's developed by us internally. So you can do something about it, act on it, help improve the health and well-beings of your building occupants, decarbonize and enhance the environment, social governance performance of the companies. So here's our value proposition when we design a product. So it's all about the health and productivity of the building occupants. So our sensors will be installed from 3 feet to 6 feet above the floor. So it's within people's breathing zone. We're also big on sustainability. So if you're a landlord, you want to green certify your building, let's say with WELL, FitWell, or Reset, one of their requirements is for you to have an indoor air quality sensor. So you can come in and use our product to get credit points in order to green certify or recertify your green building certifications. Another angle would be if you're a tenant or maybe a publicly listed companies, you would have ESG reporting. So you can use our data and focus on the S part of ESG, which is social, looking after the health and well-being of your employees. Because if your employees are healthy, then they're more productive, and that equates to new revenues, or at least not losing revenues. Also, during the pandemic, from a landlord's perspective, everyone's working from home. So how do we then convince, so when everyone's working from home, then from a landlord's perspective, they lose their tenants. So how do you then convince people to come back to their workplaces and trust that everything's going to be okay? So by sharing with them that you're quite transparent about your air quality data, so there's a high likelihood that they'd like to come back to their workplace again and work. And the fourth value proposition is about how you can use our sensors to help you save the energy consumption of your buildings by identifying HVAC faults. So at Yoohoo, we help you measure your environment so you know exactly how you can improve it and have peace of mind. So these are the at least 13 parameters that we cover: temperature, humidity, carbon dioxide, all the way up to air pressure, light, and sound. Virus index. This is something that's pretty unique about Yoohoo as well. It's something that we developed 2 years ago during the pandemic. We've patented it globally. So it's an index where we give you an indication if your environment has high chance or low chance for COVID-19 to survive in the air and be transmitted in the air through certain environmental conditions. So we look at your temperature, humidity, carbon dioxide, PM1, PM1 and PM2.5 levels. So now I'm just going to quickly run a video just to share with you how the solution works. That's the end of my video. Next slide. I'll be giving you just 3 case studies from a commercial user perspective. So the first case study is Schiphol Airport, Amsterdam, one of our clients in Europe. So they're the real estate company that owns and manages the office building that's quite adjacent to the terminal. So the initial issues were the employees of their tenants were quite hesitant to actually go to their workplace because the airport is deemed to be polluted. So what they wanted to do is to provide them a data to prove it otherwise. So after utilizing our sensors in the office building, these are their applications or benefits. So they managed to ensure that the building stayed at a comfortable level and reduced the complaints from employees by sharing the data and actions to take. They also efficiently regulated the ventilation and reduced the average CO2 level by 50%. So the third thing is air purifiers, and could be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. So in this case, they identified that the ionization exercises that they were doing were actually producing unhealthy, volatile organic compounds. So when they realized that, they changed their ionization service provider. And so these are some of the benefits for this particular case study. And with their data-driven and fact-based marketing initiative, at least they managed to give that confidence to the employees of their tenants that this office building is a safe place to be in. The next case study is a client called Port of Rotterdam. This particular client has a building that's already certified green, but the problem is people or the building occupants were still complaining of sore throat, dehydration, stuffy environment, sickness passed around. And one of their issues as well is that there's no air quality data for proper HVAC control. And their HVAC consultant were trying to get them to spend at least $150,000 to retrofit the new systems, and all their tenants wanted to terminate the rent contracts, and the rental was due in 5 months. So after deploying Yoo-Hoo sensors in this building, these are their applications or benefits. So 95% reduction in complaints from tenants through proper HVAC control. The CO2 level was reduced from 2,000 parts per million to a safe level, which is 800. Humidity adjusted based on seasons and occupants, so from 20% to 50%. And their filters are now properly maintained, reducing PM 2.5 level. So they didn't have to spend that $150,000 from unnecessary building retrofits, and 100% of their tenants renewed their rent contracts. And they gained the trust from tenants by sharing air quality initiatives with all parties. And that's the client testimonial by the project manager of Port of Rotterdam. So this is my last case study. This is a real estate developer in Singapore, one of the largest here. So the issues were they're looking for business opportunities that create health and well-being and sustainability benefits. The second is they would like to achieve various certifications for the buildings that they own. And the third is that they'd like to differentiate themselves from the competitors by focusing on health and well-being, service, and branding. So these are their benefits and applications. So after deploying our solutions, they managed to reduce the pollutant levels through data-driven ventilation, filtration, and modification of activities. They managed to adjust the air purging and office cleaning schedule to minimize the unhealthy VOCs during work hours. And they integrated our solutions with a standalone HEPA filters to automate the local air cleaning. And then they also identified locations with higher pollutant or dust levels. For example, HR and finance having so much paperwork in those offices were actually collecting a lot of dust. So that's not healthy. So when they realized that, they moved those shelves and papers to reduce pollutants. And so with our data, they also publicly display it at their building lobby to educate their employees and the building occupants that their lobby or their building is a safe place to be in. And they also use our air quality data as an input for green building certification. And so these are our growing clients. So we have over 600 enterprise clients globally. In Europe, we have the Swiss government, the Dutch government, the Belgian police as clients, Swiss Life, British Virgin Islands Health Service Authority. Over here in Asia, we have GIC. GIC is our sovereign wealth fund of Singapore, one of our largest clients as well. So we've got a good mix of landlord and also tenant. I would say tenant, for example, Accenture, Coca-Cola. They're doing it for the reasons of ESG, for their ESG reporting. There may be a tenant, but they use our data to to focus on the health and well-being of their employees, to score points in that aspect. So our vision is to have clean air for all, because we believe that it all starts from having reliable indoor air quality data. And with reliable indoor air quality data, we will have healthier buildings, less illnesses, and more energy efficient buildings. And if we have more energy efficient buildings, then we will reduce our carbon footprint. And this is my information. If you guys would like to reach out to us, our website is getyouwho.com. So I finished a bit early, unless you would like me to present more.
I think that's great. Well, thank you very much. Do you know this one?
Oh, you've got one. Perfect.
Yes, for sure. We have them also in our office, so it's really nice to have them and to measure all the particles. Yes.
Right. Very cool.
One question that I have for you is this for residential, office, both? Where do you see the most happening?
Yeah, so we've got two models. The first model would be the one that you have in your hand. That's the residential model. Yes, that's one. Yeah, that's our residential model. When we first started in 2014, that's our very first product. And in 2021, after listening to the feedback of the customers, we developed a commercial grade model, and this is called Aura, the one on the left here.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And that's more for offices.
Yeah, that's for offices, commercial spaces like industrial buildings, airports, gyms, restaurants, even hospitals, elderly care homes, schools.
Cool. And I can imagine that when you put like these kind of devices, these hardware things in places, you also need to attract people that they really know what is happening. So how do you engage them to get to know how the air situation is at that moment?
Well, yeah, I think the best way to really attract a customer is for them to use it. And then when they see it,
do they get also the data out of it? Do they have like a screen where they can see also how the air quality is at that time?
Yes, they'll be able to see those information pretty quickly, interactive, like every minute on their mobile app.
Yeah, I also used it on our mobile. Yes, yeah, that's really great.
Something like that. Like, so you will see it on the mobile app. We have a web dashboard for the commercial clients.
Nice. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, I think it's a great solution. How do you see this being evolved? Because during the pandemic and during the COVID situation, everybody was really attracted into the air quality in buildings. How do you see that being evolved right now?
Yeah, so during the pandemic, definitely everyone's very interested from homes and also from office buildings perspective. Even post-pandemic, we even see a lot more interest and awareness in the air quality that they are breathing inside their offices. As you may have heard of the sick building syndrome. So
yes.
Because of this, because of the pandemic, everyone is more conscious, right? And about what kind of air they're breathing. Is it safe for me to go back to my workplace? Can I not just work from home? So from a landlord's perspective or from the company's perspective, they'd like to assure their employees that it's really okay to come back to their workplace. So more and more companies are using it for that reason. But the most like probably the main drivers would be sustainability for building owners. So it's a green certification of their buildings.
Yes, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
okay.
thank you very much, Excel, for being with us today. Wish you a pleasant day there, and hope to see you again soon.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Water.
Thank you. Bye-bye.